right.
So, Xavier Carwell for the Hollywood Times. First things first, I would just like to ask, as someone who represents a character like Ibrahim, who's not normally represented, like a hardworking immigrant man, and then like, representing his journey, like how I believe in the bear, he goes back to school, right?
Oh, yeah, he goes to culinary school with Tina.
Yeah, like that was like a very a big turning point, because like normally they were just used to cooking their way,
Yeah.
like just like having like a real inflexible way of cooking, but then like they ended up being open to going to school. So what was that like representing that shift in mentality?
Well, I think yeah, they were used to cooking a certain thing because that's all the beef did. And you know, they may not even consider themselves cooks as much as employees at a beef sandwich shop. So there's got to be some anxiety associated with this expansion and this newness. And um, he's someone who has seen a lot of change, but it's not necessarily, oh, he's adaptable to a point. And this is a point that he's not sure of, but he does try it and realizes for a few different reasons that it's not, that he's not there yet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to know that like this is more of like kind of a quirky question, I guess, but like have you become a better cook working on the show?
Working on the show? No. No.
Just had to see, like
No, no.
nails get made.
No. Well, I've always had a great appreciation for what people do, this intersection of performance art and fine art that I feel like preparing food for people is. I don't think I've become a better cook. I know more what to do. And I also realize that it doesn't take as long as you think to make food, for yourself.
Hmm.
Uh, just the speed of which it can be done. So I've just gained a lot more appreciation, uh, more appreciation than I've become a better cook, I'd say.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I can do some things now, but I got to be in the mood. When you're a cook like that, you have to always be in the mood. It's what your life.
Literally, I've
Yeah.
heard that, like, like some of them just get tired of it. Like, I've heard it's normal for like cooks to like not, when it's their personal meals, like eat anything because they're so used to like cooking, like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've seen that, and we actually touched on that in one episode when Carmi comes home and what he eats as
yeah,
a
that was like so
cook.
crazy to me. Like, it seemed very like just an immersive detail, something that makes the show
Right.
really great.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Do you have any like any fond memories about the show? Like, you've been on it, like it's on its fourth season, right?
Yes. Fourth season.
Over the time, have you had any memories that like just like really just, like you just caught yourself like I'm really here, this is really my life, like it's just,
Well, I think because the show wasn't a big to-do to begin with, it was small scale, no one saw us coming. Um, we've always just kind of acted a certain way with each other on set, offset. Um, so there's a lot of fond memories that just keep occurring. Um, I guess maybe the singular thing for me is each year, each season, Lionel Boyce, who plays Marcus, pastry chef, he and I go and have dinner, together, just the two of us, and then
and then
and then we just take a walk and chat about whatever. So that's something I really look forward to each season. I finally got to check in really quickly this time, so he wouldn't pay. Uh, I appreciate him paying, but yeah. But yeah, but I think that's probably my singular. But well, um, but just yeah, but just going to work, and I guess there have been times that since this show has grown, you look around and see what you're doing, and you're like, wow, we're doing this little thing the way we've always done this little thing. But this little thing, I call it the the little engine that could.
Hmm.
This little thing that we're making, the same way we've always made it, continues to just like blossom and bolster more um viewers and this kind of culture, if you will. Um and even the way that shows are done, like I've seen different versions of this show
Hmm.
uh from different countries. And yeah, so things like that I think are more uh what gives me a lot of energy and a lot of joy. Yeah, and just how we are with each other, everybody's everybody digs each other. We're on group chat together. Uh, um, how many actors could you ask if they're on a group chat with the rest of the cast? I don't think you'll find many.
That's actually really interesting to hear because I feel like The Bear is one of those shows where from like all outside perspectives, like you guys seem like very very like familiar, Like the cast, like you'll all be like, like you'll be seeing together, like hanging out, like making jokes, you might even have TikToks together. So it's very
Well,
interesting to see your first person perspective on it.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is pretty much that way. I think Io has wrangled Jeremy, Edmund, and Lionel into her TikTok uh, that she does. Uh,
You're gonna be in them?
no, no, I'm probably not around. I'm probably not around on those days anyway. But but I'll do whatever she wants. She's a good kid. Yeah,
That's amazing. I would also like to say, in Winning Time, like portraying Bill Russell, right?
yeah, yeah. That was a joy.
Yeah, so like, how was it portraying such like a legendary figure? Like, Bill Russell, not just on the basketball court, like, he's like one of the most winning players ever. So, but also like, just someone who had to not just play, but exist at that time. How was it like kind of, stepping into in his shoes?
Well, the show was about the Lakers and Bill Russell as a commentator at that point in his career. I had always wished that they had that there was an opportunity, let me say, to delve more into just this iconic figure. So a lot of times I see that young people use iconic like it's a glass of water
Loosely, right?
when it really means something. And um, the cat who stood for a lot, who was really instrumental in Lou Alcindor Jr. when he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, in how he moved politically. So I wish there was an opportunity. Actually, the audition I did for it, it was a scene where Bill Russell comes to Kareem in a dream and talks about how funny it is that they're letting a Laker in the Hall of Fame at some point. Uh, um, but I would have loved if that had been delved into more through his eyes, like watching what he can't do anymore, but also watching this game that he loved. Um, but that wasn't what it was, so I just wanted to portray him. Uh, or you know what? It was really just about this great opportunity to to like say, oh, I played Bill Russell, and he's one of my favorite people, and he's an amazing cat. Um, but the show wasn't about him. It was about the Lakers.
So
That is that a Basquiat you wearing?
basket? Oh no, to be honest, you kind of called me on it. I'm a little now I gotta say something. It was my this is my high school t-shirt, you know.
Okay, because the top looked like
Oh,
King
just like
Pleasure.
the wild style of Basquiat.
Well, he has a King Pleasure piece, and at the top of your shirt looked like the crown. So
To be honest, it's from the Rugrats. You know, that's what it's based on.
the Rugrats.
Yeah, you know.
If if you dig deeply enough, you'll find a thief of Basquiat probably.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely.
I
If
don't know. I'm just joking.
like just the drawings and all that, I definitely can see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I thought that was really cool. All right. Sorry.
You got a
Aside,
good eye for detail too, by the
we digress.
way. I would also like to delve into as someone with a like such a long career in show business, like 46 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like as somebody with such a long career, but also someone who's like done other things. I know you studied math in college. How does that kind of affect your process, like your approach into acting, you know? Like are those two related at all?
Yeah. Uh, well, I see my work um as just as much an analytical exercise as I do a creative exercise. I always make a point of talking about how on any university campus you go to, you see the College of Arts and Sciences together. So those things, for me, have never been mutually exclusive. They've actually been mutually inclusive of how I approach uh, theorems and proofs, choices and, the next take or the notes that you get from a director. They're all kind of part and parcel of how I approach my art and, artist functionality as far as I'm concerned, so I'm not just I'm not I don't consider myself an entertainer because that doesn't seem too functional beyond one's own uh personal take on
Hmm.
on uh on art. Mine is just a bit different. Um uh so yes, so I think having studied in an analytical way helps when I approach kind of text and rhythm and the mathematics of meter and how a scene is written, what a scene is saying and how to just kind of pick that apart. I don't um, research characters because I never want to play the research. I always say that
Hmm.
even if a piece is really, really bad, everything I need is there. My job is to figure it out, like say, to just find these pieces of this puzzle, uh, which can, be considered analytical more than creative, but I don't separate them. There's never a point that they don't exist together.
Hmm. That's really cool. I never thought about how you say like not researching a character because you don't want to play, you don't want to portray the research, you want to portray the your role. Never
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
about that, you know. But
yeah,
like it's very cool to like see like the inner workings like your acting method, you know.
yeah.
Because
Thank you.
obviously like 46 years, you got to be very talented, you know, like when I was
Mm,
like researching credits, I was like like Law and Order, just all of these like roles, you know.
yeah, yeah. But I think you have to also just keep challenging yourself. I had a thing about if I would get afraid if I didn't reach a certain point in a 5-year period, a certain point of growth. I get very, very afraid that I was gonna begin to retard.
Hmm.
Um, uh, and so you find work and you find ways of working that keep you excited and keep you learning more about yourself
Hmm.
as an artist, as a person.
So did you always see yourself working as an artist or like as like did you see that? Like did you see yourself in front of the camera?
Oh, I saw myself on stage. There was a time that theater actors were separated. in a large way from TV and film actors. Some people would say, "Oh, I was in the theater," but they that they go right to TV and film, uh, and sometimes there was a kind of a clash about what is and what isn't. Um, but I find that I've been able to keep myself really interested and keep pushing myself as an artist. Um, for theater now, it's got to be something that really scares me
Hmm.
because it asks so much of you. Uh, 8 shows a week, 10, 12 weeks of your life just is really it's really intense in a way that I don't think people would realize if they were coming to a rehearsal. But there's also a bit of a pageantry in the theater that I don't really care for now. It's
Mhm.
changed a bit for me. Um, and there's a technicality, there's a technical aspect of working on screen, well, as well as theater. I don't want to say it's not technical, it's very technical, with the way I do it anyway. But on the screen, there's there's a technicality, there's a technical element that I'm really, really drawn to right now, um, that can help me create. I find that really, in the past 15, 17 years that I've really started to do more screen work. Yeah, I've been finding that just really, really interesting and challenging. Uh, so yeah.
Hmm. So I would like to see, are there any roles that like you feel are like your personal, like like that you feel personally proud to play or that you feel have affected you as a person, like more than others, or any favorites basically?
I always say that I stop at naming favorites because I don't want the other roles to show up in my dreams and ask me
Hmm.
why I didn't choose them. So but no, there are some um playing Dick Gregory in a solo show in 2018 was really a big kick for me because I just loved him so much. Uh and I chose that over 6 episodes of The Shy.
Oh.
I was scheduled to be on The Shy for about 6 episodes in their second season. Um, but I was like, and I got the offer to come play Dick Gregory as well. I'd just come back from working in Paris for a couple of years with a theater company there. And so I was like, when am I gonna ever get the chance to play uh Baba Gregory? And would I want anybody else to like do it? No, I want it.
It's
So
really cool, you know?
yeah. So it was offered to me. I didn't audition for it. It was offered to me, and I just said, of course. So I left and went there to
Hmm.
DC.
Was it like personally gratifying, like portraying someone that you feel so strongly about, you know? Like Dick
Yeah,
Gregory, that's like going back to how you say like iconic is like used loosely now, like that's like a very iconic man.
yeah. It was scary every night. Because it's me, uh, as Baba Gregory as a younger man in the '60s, um, throughout his life to when he's right before he passed away. Um, so yeah, it was scary every night, but I like to operate in that space. So it was really, really it was really a beautiful moment. I would always say, uh, I don't know what's going to happen on stage tonight, but I know it's going to be fun. Yeah,
Sounds like a great mentality to have, you know? Very
yeah.
like, very open to anything that can happen on stage, very, very flexible,
Well, you have no choice. Those lights go up. You can't cut and go back and do anything. You can't stop. The meter is running, you know. And I love that about this space I've operated in since I was 16 years old. But I also love utilizing other parts of my acumen uh, on the screen to tell the story in a different way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is something I want to delve into, like as like someone who's so like prolific as so, like in front of the screen, has it affected like how you like your writing process or like how you approach creating like art or like behind?
Oh, yeah. Well, you've done some research, so you know I'm a writer as well. All right, cool. Nice. No. I think what it did was that because I've been a writer and a director in the theater, um, I'm a bit nebulous. My mother would call it nosy. And which is they're very synonymous, I guess. Uh, and so I always wanted to learn how to write for the screen. I don't like not knowing how to do anything. So I went back and got an MFA in writing for the screen. In about 2015, I received that MFA, and I've been writing a lot. But I think my acting affects the writing now, uh, in that I see how to expand these worlds that I create for my characters. I'm just expanding that world in my head for him. We're just growing, kind of how a character that I might play might see things. And now the character is really just the idea in my head. Um, but yeah, it's helped a lot. And I've been very fortunate. Went and shot something of mine in December. It was a short piece. Our showrunner on The Bear, Christopher Storer, told me not to try to shoot the long version or I'll use up all my money. So I shot the short version, still used up all my money. Uh, um, but it was great. It was a great learning experience, and I think there are not a lot of actors that write, and then there are less that write on a certain level. I was part of a 10-person cohort of the Sony Pictures television writing program, and you can only get into it if you're nominated. And then they read your scripts, and then you're chosen by nearly 5,000, in a pool of nearly 5,000 writers. So no one knew I was on The Bear. So it wasn't because of that. It was because of the script that I wrote, which is one of seven that I've written in the past 10 years. Um, yeah, I've been very fortunate to be so nebulous and want to do everything on the same level that I do things as an actor.
Hmm. And one thing I definitely want to get into before I like we wrap up is I've seen you're like you're very big into activism, right? Like for famine is I believe. Like
Yeah,
is
yeah. I did this. Yeah, I did this really cool thing with the United Nations World Food Program. They contacted me last year when we were working on season 3 of The Bear, and uh, then we kind of built a relationship. And when I was scouting for my movie, Pink and Red Dress, uh, in Tucson, they asked me if I would make a video, and so I sat in my little hotel room and did a video, kind of just like this. And it's garnered a lot of views. Also garnered a lot of other actors and people doing these kinds of things for different organizations. So I didn't see those before, but I see them a lot now.
I thought it was
But
really amazing.
thank you. Yeah, well, I think about that. I think about a character like Ibrahim who's come from East Africa and kind of what that trek is. And uh, you know, um, so then you start thinking about the people that don't get out or that can't get out or don't have the resolve or the resources. And what can you do so I could offer myself in this kind of way?
It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie, this has been a great interview, like I've already been a fan of The Bear, I do watch with my girlfriend a lot. So like now watching, like catching up on it, I do gotta catch up on, I believe I'm I'm in season 3, so I definitely gotta like finish out season 3 and catch up on season 4. But
Okay.
also, just seeing it's like, like I actually like got to kind of pick your mind a little bit, so I'll definitely like keep that in mind. Like it's more immersive, it feels like now. and
Yeah, okay, cool.
your process on it.
Dig it, dig it, dig it. Well, thanks a lot. We appreciate you having me on to chat.
Of
And
course. Thank
yeah,
you so much for being here, really.
of course.
So I appreciate you, man. You have
All right.
an amazing day. Thank you.
You too. Be safe.